You ever get the feeling somebody's watching you? So I would tell you over the last 3 days, that is exactly what it's felt like. That somebody was watching me, that everything I was doing was being scrutinized. So I wanted to turn the tables on that. Over the last few days, I've had many phone conversations with the law firm that represents me. And I can honestly say more conversations than I've ever had in the entire time that I've retained counsel. When you start a business, as I have, and many of you probably have, typically that's something you do, is you go ahead and retain a law firm. So when I went to the firm that I've used for the last several years and discussed with them what I was wanting to do and the type of video I was wanting to make, I was strongly advised against naming names. John's Wacky World had left a comment, and others had left comments too, but John said a good thing and a very truthful thing, that you really have to be careful in these types of situations, because even really the only way you could know for sure is even if you're in law enforcement, the only way you can know for sure is if you were in law enforcement, and even then you're not going to name names in this type of a setting. And that's true. Because as much information as I know I have and I feel I have, and the people behind Princess Bubbles through their emails have let me know I have, it's still guesswork. It's still supposition. It's still hyperbole. So I want to tell you up front that this is not going to be a naming names type video. I intended it to be. But it's not worth any trouble on my end from a libelous situation, my word against someone else's word. It's just not worth that. So I may not be able to tell you the who specifically, but I'm going to tell you the how and the why, and enough information that you're going to be able to come to your own conclusions. But I wanted you to know up front. So if this is the point where I know it, nothing but a publicity stunt, feel free to give the thumbs down and to hop off the video. But if you're still here, let's begin. So in starting off with the who, I think it's also very important that we all remember this needs to be the last time we give a spotlight to this group. Period. They only really have power if you let them have power. I think I demonstrated that with my video. You take away their ammunition, there's really nothing they can do. So of the who, our first point, the fans. YouTube fans are a little bit of a different breed, because on one hand, most are well-adjusted, normal people. You've also got a situation where your creators are seemingly coming to you. They're uploading videos that you're seeing by yourself, maybe with other family members, but it's coming directly to you. You feel like you have a connection, especially when you started off with a YouTube creator from the ground floor. So as with anything, be it sport team, be it entertainment, anything that draws fans, most of the YouTube fans are down-to-earth, great people. Much more normal mainstream than, say, Kathy Bates in Misery that might come to mind. But YouTube does tend to breed more of a certain type of fan. That brings us to our second point. The White Knight, always there to lend a helping hand and come to the aid of their creator in need. You're not going to badmouth their object of affection. For those that make up Princess Bubbles, they have a pretty healthy community of these White Knight fans. These fans that cannot believe that their favorite creator would ever be badmouthed, yet alone have a collection of trolls. And when they stick up for that creator, they're somehow closer to that creator. They might even be friends. Stranger things have happened. With these white knights in the world, the trolls don't have a chance. Carry on, White Knight. You're a hero to us all. So a collection of informants is a big part of who Princess Bubbles is. But what galvanized them? What prompted them to action to have an account like this? Probably comes as no surprise to you, but thumbs down and negative comments are like daggers to the heart of these super fans that make up the periphery of Princess Bubbles. One of the things in more recent times with YouTube creator accounts, especially the ones that hover around our area, the Adam the Woos, the Tim Trackers, the Carpetbaggers, the Justin Scarred, they will have some videos comments disabled altogether, and others they have so many people blocked that essentially there are no negative comments. So where do those negative commenters go to voice their frustration? I'm sure everybody's shouting at the screen right now. Dave Hughes. So Dave gets blamed for a lot of the comments within his videos, and I don't think that's fair. Now, maybe some of the more extreme ones he could block quicker, but I think Dave does a great job of just giving a sounding board to people. What they in turn put on that is on them. And the more egregious ones, he absolutely does not stand for and does block those people. Dave was a vocal critic of local television and radio for a number of years in Washington, D.C. That's his bread and butter. That was his vocation. And at YouTube, he gave the ability also for those that have criticisms against some of these creators that, due to the fact that they have such an iron grip on their own comment section, they never really had a chance to voice any opposition. So when those white knights come a-calling to find that opposition, obviously, that's where they go. And those have been the targets of Princess Bubbles. The next piece of the puzzle, the close friend. Different from the white knight, the close friend actually knows the creator or a creator. The important thing to remember about Princess Bubbles is the overall mission is not a single creator, but all creators within the circle of goodness. Princess Bubbles looks out for each and every one of them, although you'll come to find, in a little bit, maybe some in particular. And the final piece of the Who puzzle, the final member of the team, the harassed creator, brought into the Princess Bubbles world because of doxing. They have become obsessed with the trolls, watching every conversation, recording every live stream, watching everything. And they do this over holidays, time that they should be doing other things, spending time with family. They're watching you. And I want to use this opportunity to, as I have in numerous videos, but to again say doxing is not right. I don't want to sound like your parents, but two wrongs do not make a right. Just because you've been wronged, you should not in turn go wrong somebody else. The cycle has to stop somewhere. And I am proud the scourge of Princess Bubbles is over. But something else will take its place if we don't put a stop to this behavior now. So bottom line information behind the Who is Princess Bubbles. Well, we know that it's made up of a network of white knights. Now, these are not the primary actors or drivers behind Princess Bubbles, but they are a part of it. Number two, A key piece is a close friend of a creator and is also a creator themselves. The third part, a harassed creator. And Princess Bubbles can be any combination of these people that you're talking to at any given time. And it's primarily 3 individuals driving the Princess Bubbles account. So in covering the who so thoroughly, we've pretty much answered the why already. We know why the different people are involved. They're involved to fight doxing, harassment of their favorite creators, and they want to do it in virtually any space that they can find that going on, any video, any comment section, etc. So you may be saying, well, Bottom-O, can you give us more specifics? I can. One of the big whys is the harassment of Adam the Woo. That was one of the big drivers, but not the primary one. Another one was the doxing of a creator. The accidental doxing of the creator by themselves. And then the acting on that information by a troll. So obviously we know that the Circle of Light views this particular troll. They view Loose Gun as this troll. And how do you take out a troll? You take out those around him. You take out his circle of chaos. This is starting to sound like a superhero movie. I digress. What's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is they have wanted Lou's address, and with that address, to potentially serve Lou with papers. So now we know the reasons. Wanting to cleanse the internet of trolls, a particular fascination with a certain troll in their opinion, and the desire to have his address. But there have been some false reasons put out there. Let's talk about those. Now, recently, a creator that I really look up to, who does some fantastic videos, told me that I should trust no one. And I'll tell you, that's tough for me, because I tend to trust everyone. So, as of late, starting to second guess every internet relationship on here that I have on YouTube, second guessing people that I've talked to for months, has been difficult. But it's still pretty good advice. So for every real piece of information, there's been a fake one. What we would call a red herring. Something meant to distract us, take us down a different path. And as I've been digging in, and others that have been aiding me have been digging into information, we found a lot of these. The first one up, Mo Chuckles. So Mo burst onto the scene with quite a bit of fanfare. He was instantly adopted by the Circle of Chaos and welcomed in with open arms. Mo promised a lot, but delivered very little. And just as quickly as he came, he was gone. So who is Mo Chuckles? Well, Mo Chuckles is Princess Bubbles. So why, you may ask? Information gathering. What so much of this is about. Red herring number 2. That John's Wacky World and another member of his group from the long-term YouTuber club has had something to do with Princess Bubbles. I have found no research whatsoever to back up this claim. Now, many people have had run-ins with John and others in his similar group, but there has never been anything other than words exchanged that we can find out. Red herring number 3, the real Mrs. J Freak. The real Mrs. J Freak and her husband J Freak both have channels. J Freak's channel dealing primarily with wrestling and another character that he has. Mrs. J Freak having several different vlog series, one of which is On Blast, where she covers various celebrity topics, her family, but she also has covered Adam the Woo and Carpetbagger, critical rants about them. She was one of the first I encountered that had a more of a discussion video versus others who do parodies who've been out there for a long time. It has been theorized that she is Molly May, which is a known troll, that she is Rats S1, also that she may even be Princess Bubbles. I have found nothing to suggest that she is anybody other than herself. Demonic Abyss has also done a vlog where he theorized that Molly May was Rat's Ass 1, and he gave his reasons for that. Rat's Ass 1 has tried to say that Stingray was Molly May. It gets confusing, kiddies. Sorry about that. To the best of what I have been able to come up with, again, all of this guesswork, but the best that I have been able to do in my research, Mrs. J. Freak is only Mrs. J. Freak. Molly May is only Molly May. Rat's Ass 1 is Rat's Ass 1. And Princess Bubbles, well, we're covering that. The fourth and final red herring is that this is a Democrat versus Republican thing, a liberal versus conservative. This is one that Princess Bubbles herself, in quotation marks, herself, tried to put out there to make this seem like a bigger project than what it is. That it is more than a campaign mainly against the Circle of Chaos, which is what this is. So in summary, everyone, and I know this has been a long video, it had to be to cover the many different topics we had to within this. We've covered the who, we've covered the why, we've covered the red herrings that were put out there to take us in different directions from finding the truth. The what, we know. We know what Princess Bubbles has done. We know the doxing that has went on both sides. And that's the important topic that I hope this video serves to do more than anything else. Doxing people's information has to stop. It's never warranted. It's never useful. And I'll show you the very last email that I got from the Princess Bubbles camp, which I think has a glimmer of hope in all of this. The first part of the email, they actually say they are done with doxing, which is a great thing. Later on, they mentioned that they simply put the information out there. People do with it as they will. This is a cop-out that many people who dox typically use. And I've heard it used by both sides. But folks, we've entered 2018. It's time to say no to this. We can have debate. We can have discussion. We can agree to disagree. We can hate each other. That doesn't mean that it ever has to go beyond the comment section or beyond the YouTube video. You don't like somebody, you have reasons for it, make a video about it. Comment about it. But it should stop there. Harassing someone's family, calling someone's work, calling someone's home, stalking someone, it's never okay. Like your favorite creator. Don't like them. It's your prerogative. And creators, this is a message to you. If you are caught in this, being overly upset, worried about what others are commenting on you to the point that it is affecting your channel, it's time to stop. PewDiePie in this video, this picture here, when he received the Ruby YouTube award for the 50 million subscribers. You know he has over 90,000 dislikes? 90,000. Let's say 1% of that 90,000 hate him enough that they would dox him if they could. You don't think that's a scary thing for him to think about? Do you think he thinks about it? I don't think so. He goes out and he creates. And he lets people enjoy it or not. I would guarantee you, for the most part, he's keeping his eye on the prize. That's why he's successful. And that's what I would recommend to you. Have you ever found that so many messages can be conveyed through art? It just seems to paint the full picture. Lou Skunt, the Swedes, the harassed creator, the princess who's anything but nice, the circle of chaos, man who just doesn't know. The friend of the Creator. And the cow who claims he knows everything. This crazy world of YouTube.
Swedes, being a neutral power, tried to end the war and bring peace to these two men. But he found one side was only using him, and the other side hated him because of a joke.
So for the last time for a little while, I say goodbye. I also say Happy New Year to everyone. And the one thing that I hope that you take from this video is that this needs to be the end of doxing. Leave doxing behind in 2017 and make 2018 one that you can remember and be proud of.